What's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, man. We back in business. It's another glorious Tuesday. It's 2 episodes in a row. We back. If you're watching this podcast, if you're listening to it, if you're seeing it in real time, you already up on the blessings list, man. You're already blessed because your phone bill is paid. You got the internet somewhere. You got some data on that phone. Your ears are working because you can hear me talking. If you can see and hear me, your eyes are working and your ears are working. You know what I'm saying? You're still mindful enough to be intelligent, to take in what I'm saying, to see what I'm saying. You already up on the blessings. And if you're watching me, that means you got a little bit of chill time, outside of what you may be going through. You might be putting me on to take your mind off of something, and that's a blessing to have something to take your mind off of something that's stressing you, man. The blessings are endless, man. There's a lot of blessings to be found out here. Even when you feel like, man, shit sucks, there's still something to be thankful for and grateful for. And I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I had water in my house. I'm grateful that I was able to walk 5 miles today. I'm grateful that I was able to move my arms. My heart was working, my legs, my muscles. I'm grateful that I was able to go to the gym. I was grateful that I had a gym membership. Grateful that I was actually able to lift stuff and speak. You know what I'm saying? So they all over the place. Grateful that I had a shower after the gym. You know what I'm saying? Grateful that I had transportation to and from the gym. So, gratitude, man. Gratitude. We out here. Shout out to my patron saints. I'm grateful for y'all up in here in love with 41, Crunchy Apple, Twa, MP Trooper, Honey Ray, Zakia, Aomi, James, Miranda, Crunchy Apple, Kobe McGuire, Ernest Doyle, Kevin Stewart, Jason Anderson, Valerie T, Mia G, Kelsh, Miss Josie, Joy Lynn, G Lowry, Mark Martin. Come on, man. Ride the Poet, JC's World, man. Alice, Chad Green. I appreciate y'all, man. Miranda, Jordan. Thank y'all for being patron saints and pulling up and being super supportive. We got the IG live in here as well, freeloading. And, I know it's a negative connotation, Coco Puff, she's a patron saint. But, we got the IG live in here freeloading. That's what y'all essentially doing, man. Y'all in here on the free, just, freeloading. Let's call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? But they got to get a taste. They got to know what they're missing. Because then they might feel like, all right, this looks like fun. Let me put my $5 up. Because people, when you spend your money, you got a right to really look at what you want to spend your money on. You worked hard for that money. You worked hard for that $5 I'm asking for. And I don't want you to feel like I'm disrespecting the work you put in to earn your $5 a month, right? Whatever it is that you do, where you made $5 in a month, if you don't want to spend that on me, that's your right. You got every right to be like, nah, man, I ain't putting the money up, man. It don't seem like it's worth it to me. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's fair. I can't be mad at y'all for that. Even me, I'll be on the fence. I'll be like, man, I ain't paying that money for that. So you got every right. I would love for you to join, but if you don't want to join, I get it. But you're not gonna get the perks. You're not gonna reap the benefits. So if you think you're gonna be up in here getting everything on the free, nah, man. Watch out. Today, one of them thirsty days for me, man. I just cracked this mug open this morning. I'm already halfway through this mug, man. Water just be good, man. When you get that good room temp, that good room temp is special, man. Hell yeah, big wide freeload. They freeload, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Just freeload away. I finished my tour. I finished the 2025 leg of the Replenish the Pockets tour. I'll probably pick up the second half of it in 2026. I'll try to hit the cities that I didn't hit this year, I'll probably try to hit them next year. Maybe like Tacoma, maybe like Cleveland, maybe like Columbus, cities like that. I'll probably do a replenish the pockets for 2026. But y'all got to pull up, man. And the reason some of these cities wasn't on the initial list is because y'all don't bring your punk asses out. So, you know what I'm saying? Promo be wearing me down. And in those cities, I got to promo my ass off. But Replenish the Pockets 2025 was a major success. It was 82% overall in turnout. So that's a B. I would rather get an A, but a B I will take. It was beautiful. Shout out to everybody that came out, everybody that purchased a ticket, everybody that doubled up, everybody that bought a shirt, everybody that told your family and friends you dragged somebody to the show, man. Super appreciative. The next move is the Ball Brothers show. That's the tour. We doing 16 cities, I believe, or 17. Starting with St. Louis, ending in LA. So, and that starts in late September. It goes through late November. I think the last date is November 23rd in Los Angeles, right around Thanksgiving time. So please, please, please get a ticket for that. It's going to be something you've never seen before, guaranteed. Every city is going to be a new and improved show. Nothing is going to be the same. So get in on that, man. It's me and Kev on stage simultaneously, not one after another like the last Ball Brothers. We're going to be up there at the same time, very audience interactive. So I want y'all to pull up for that, man. Pull on up. What's new with me? I got home from Charlotte. I went biscuit crazy in Charlotte. I went biscuit crazy. I want to say I had 4 biscuits at Cracker Barrel. I just want to be honest. I want to be transparent. I want to be fat. I think I had 4 biscuits total at Cracker Barrel, not including the 3 blueberry pancakes. So I was Brady Murphy. You know what I'm saying? I was Brett Armisen. I was Brett Hampton. Okay? Big Bread. Brady Gibbs. Brady Krueger. Okay? Jamaican locks and breads. That was 4 biscuits, 3 pancakes. Okay? Now, what I come to find out, there's a couple things. I found out that the pancakes in New York ruined it for me on the Cracker Barrel pancakes. Because before, if any of y'all have followed me for some time, you know I go crazy over the Cracker Barrel pancakes. Those been the pancakes I've been shouting about from the rooftops. The crispy edges, man. Cracker Barrel, man. Get over the racism and get your ass in there. We don't even know Cracker Barrel's been racist anyway. It's just the vibe. It's just the aesthetic that makes black folks think like, hey, man, they got rocking chairs out there. It looks real segregated. But once you're in there, you know what I'm saying? That's not the vibe. But that's neither here nor there. Crazy about the blueberry pancakes or the regular pancakes, crispy edges. And you get the warm syrup bottle. You know what I'm saying? Still fire, still dope, still a good time, right? I go to New York. I go to the Golden Diner. Had some of the best pancakes I've ever had in my 48 years of living. My pants were off immediately. As soon as I took my first bite, my pants were off. Right there in Manhattan, pants off. Just sitting there, pantsless. Enjoying the pancakes. I was like, man, don't get no better than this. Eyes rolled back. It was crazy. Right? And then I was like, yo, these pancakes are so amazing and so like rich. And it was just an experience. It was like, yo, you can't have this experience on a regular basis. Like you can't have these pancakes every week or every morning. You got to do this every once in a while. This is an experience you got to just spread out. It's a lot to take in. You feel me? So I was just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That was amazing. Oh God. It's so amazing to be loved. It was amazing. So I don't know if it was the next day or maybe the day after, whatever we did. So we wanted to hit Clinton Street Baking Company. right, in New York. The family that were familiar with me, they was also at the Golden Diner, and they were like, yo, we had the Clinton Street Baking Company. They got two of them. They got one in Manhattan, one in Brooklyn. The one in Brooklyn, the wait was less. Like the line wasn't as long at the one in Brooklyn. So I was like, say less. So the hotel we were staying at, we could have walked over the Brooklyn Bridge, hit Clinton Street in Brooklyn. So we walked over there, we hit Clinton Street Baking Company. Pancakes were exquisite. They had the crispy edges. But the thing about these pancakes, now I would say I would give the Golden Diner the edge in terms of just the explosiveness of the pure bliss of the pancake itself. Pants were off at both places. Pants were off. Pants was just out of here. But I felt like the Clinton Street Baking Company dialed it back just enough to where you can have these pancakes more frequently. You feel me? Like they were less cakey and more pancakey, if that makes any sense at all. Because the Golden Diner felt like I was eating cake with syrup on it. And you know, cake is just cake. Cake is what it is. So I had the Clinton Street Baking joint, and I was just like, oh God, these. I finished Brandon Lewis's case because B. Lou can't finish his food. I finished his. He had like half a stack left. I was like, easy work. And I had a biscuit. And I had avocado toast from the Golden Diner. Yo, I was eating my ass off in New York. So, fast forward, me going back to Cracker Barrel in Charlotte, because I told Keenan and B. Lou, I was like, we've been talking about Cracker Barrel every city we go to. We're like, there go Cracker Barrel, Tony. And I'd be like, oh, let's hit it. And I would never go because I'd be trying not to go buck wild on the food that I love and crave and lust after. I try to have self-control. And I was like, all right, we'll do this. We'll go to the Cracker Barrel in Charlotte. That's the last city on the tour. Let's go to Cracker Barrel then. So we go to Cracker Barrel. I'm a man of my word. We go up in there. I get the biscuits, you know what I'm saying? The complimentary biscuits at the Cracker Barrel. You know, usually they can bring you the cornbread and the complimentary biscuits. I'll be like, yo, keep that cornbread back there. Just bring the biscuits. Just bring the biscuits, man. All right. So I'm eating biscuits and pancakes. And I know y'all be like, man, that's a lot of carbs. That's a lot of bread. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Bread me off. Let me tell you something about me, man. I am a bread drunk. I love breads, biscuits, breads, toast, rolls, pancakes, waffles, French toast. Bread me out. Garlic bread, naan, croissants. Bread me out in a casket. The only way I'm not going OD on bread is that I just don't want to be in a wheelchair, fat as hell. But from a taste perspective, I want bread 24/7. I want it injected into my veins. Give me all the breads. All of them. Bread is just bread. It's fantastic. So I'm eating biscuits and pancakes. The biscuits are still hidden. The pancakes are still hidden. But that New York experience just kind of made me feel like Cracker Barrel was a little pedestrian. Kind of rocked my world up a little bit. Still good. But I thought about New York. And my pants weren't off in Cracker Barrel. My pants were still on. So I was just like, man, it's not the same. So anyway, I went on a biscuit binge in Charlotte. So I had the biscuits at Cracker Barrel, you know, a good 9. Those biscuits are a 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? A 4.5 out of 5. You feel me? The next day, I go to the Flying Biscuit, right? I pull up on them. I just got 2 biscuits and some avocado toast, right? Avocado toast or whatever, but the biscuits was on point. Buttery, crispy top, soft in the middle, brilliant. I was like, yo, this is a good biscuit right here. I had 2 of them. And y'all be looking at me crazy because I don't be washing them down. Listen, man, I'm tough, all right? I'm tough, okay? I don't need an immediate wash down all the time, man. I'm tough out here. Real men eat dry biscuits, no wash down, right? This is what men do. We take care of our family and we eat biscuits with no wash down. All right? I did it with no jellies, no preserves, none of that extra stuff. Just straight raw biscuits, unprotected, no wash down. Flying biscuits were good as hell. On the third day, I went to Bojangles. All right, now you gotta go to the Bojangles. Now Bojangles got them biscuits now. And Bojangles. And when you say Bojangles, man, you gotta southern it up, man. You gotta fade off on the rest of the word. It's Bojang. It's almost like you're not even saying Bojangles. You're saying Bojang. We're down there at that Bojang. It's like a jang. It trails off into nothing. So I pull up into the Bojang, right? I go up in there. Now I'm just on the biscuit, you know what I'm saying? That's all I want. I don't want nothing else in there. I go up in there. Let me get 2 biscuits. And let me get a Bowberry biscuit as well. They got the Bowberry biscuit. Now, the Bowberry biscuit is just a blueberry biscuit, but they call it the Bowberry because of the Bojangles and the, you know what I'm saying, the bow and the berry, they put it together, Bowberry, right? So I'm like, you know, let me get the 3 biscuits, right? And this is me breaking my fast. I'm breaking my fast on this. So I get the regular biscuit. The regular biscuit is just, let's get it, man. Crispy top, soft middle. The way they bake their biscuits at Bojangles as opposed to Flying Biscuit, the Flying Biscuit has a more robust top and bottom, darker tops and bottoms. The Bojangles biscuit, it's like a lighter tone all the way through. They're a little thinner. They're not as thick as the Flying Biscuit biscuits. Now, when I say thick, I don't want y'all to think of like the KFC biscuit. That's just too thick and too dry. No, not like that, but even smaller than that. So the Bojangles biscuit is more like the Cracker Barrel biscuit size. They got a leaner frame, right? So, and I know I'm nerding out on biscuits, but man, screw y'all, man. I'm passionate. Regular biscuit was fire, beautiful. It was a beautiful biscuit, right? So I get to the Bowberry biscuit. They lathered it up with icing. Too much icing. It was too much, man. It was drenched in icing. I'm not an icing guy. Like, I don't need the icings. It's just a lot. I'm getting older. Too much sugar. I'm just like, oh, it's just too much. I'm getting soft on the sugar tip, right? So it was lathered, buried in the money shot of icing. Big money shot. I'm just like, damn, man. This is orgy porn right here. So I was just like, all right, man. So I ate it. Still, you know, I'm a champion. I bought it. I had it. Finished it. It was too much icing. So I went back. And I was like, yo, give me a regular, nondescript Bowberry biscuit. No icing, no extra, no frills, no fancy card, none of that. No nut shot. So I got the non-nutted on Bowberry biscuit. And it was fire. Oh, it was fire, man. And they was like, we gonna give you a fresh one. I was like, thank you, darling. Thank you so much, youngster. And man, that Bowberry biscuit was, listen, I'm glad I don't live in the South next to a Bojang. Because I'll be up in that Bojang on the regular, getting me a Bowberry biscuit of 3. So anyway, biscuits were fire. 5 out of 5 on that Bowberry. Charlotte was amazing. Charlotte was a great city to end on because their energy was great every show. All 5 shows, the Charlotte energy was fantastic, man. So shout out to everybody that came out and all that good stuff. Let me pay these bills real quick, though. IG Live, you freeloaders. I'm about to cut y'all off. I'm about to cut the feed. They've been telling me in the Patreon to cut the feed. So if you want to see this uninterrupted, join my Patreon. It's only $5 a month, or you can pay more. It's up to you. Click the link in my bio. Click that Patreon tab, and then boom, pow, you're in. But I got to cut you off. I got to cut you short, man. I got to cut you short. Boom. Now it's just us guys. It's just I know y'all be hating at the end here, man, but chill out, man. It's business. Okay. Speaking of business, okay. Let's talk about Earn In. All right. Earn In is the original earned wage access app that lets you access your pay as you work. Instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck, you can get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. And no, this is not a payday loan. This is access to your money. That's why there's no interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Earn In makes money on optional tips and optional fees for features like lightning speed, which gets you your money in minutes. But there's always a no-cost option that helps make financial momentum accessible to as many people as possible. Again, this is not a loan. This is just access to your money early. Man, I wish I had this back when I was at Dairy Queen, man. I can't stress that enough. When I was at Inmersh, when I was at Dairy Queen, when I was out here on the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, this would have been tremendous for me. This would have been beautiful. Man, I'd have been all over this. Young Tone that was spending crazy, that was less, financially sound. I would have loved this back in the day. Because life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should payday? The money you earn should be in your hands, and it should be in your hands today with Earn In. All right? Because you never know what's gonna come up between those paydays. Life be life and stuff be happening. Christmas, holidays, you gotta get a gift for somebody, an unexpected bill, maybe a plumbing issue with your car, a bill you forgot about. We're gonna cut your power off. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's made for, man. A special night out. You know what I'm saying? Taking family to a dinner or an event. If you got kids, the kid bills just be popping up. Ma, I need a such and such. Why you didn't tell me earlier? I forgot. Kids be forgetting stuff. So now you're scrambling, now you're hustling. And now you can hit up Earn In the in between. You feel me? So download Earn In today, spell EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earn In app, type in verbal cardio under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. That's verbal cardio under podcast. Earn In is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details. Down Earn In now and take control of your pay. Get in on that, shawty. Get in on it. Let me see what y'all talking about real quick, man. Somebody called Kevin Beige asked me, is there any booty, not anybody, any booty that you would lose 20 million for? No. Absolutely not. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about money and people risking it all and losing it and making bad decisions, so forth and so on. Some people, sometimes you're not thinking down the road of what could happen in the moves that you make, right? So you might be just living your life, doing what you do, moving how you move, and not thinking about what could happen down the road long term in regards to this, right? Because there are some situations where we might feel like everything is on the up and up, and then bam, you looking face down, and you looking down the barrel of a lawsuit or something like that. So that happens as well. But there are some cases where people be out here doing dumb shit, wilding, just making horrible decisions that can, affect your pockets in a deep way. And so some people feel like the money is always going to be there. The money is down the road. Whatever I'm doing now, it ain't going to affect my money. Let me just live life how I want to live it. And some people lose sight of, man, if I do this might affect my pockets. So I feel like you get a mixture of, some people don't realize that their pockets could be affected. Some people feel like their pockets are immune to what they're doing. And then sometimes it's just bad luck, or just like bad timing, or, and people come and take advantage too. There's that. People want to come and take serious advantage based on something that wasn't even worth the price that you're charging, or the money that you're attempting to get from somebody. You're just making up an extravagant portion to just be like, yeah, this. Like, how you come up with this total? You know what I mean? So in terms of like me knowing like, oh, this is a risk to my 20 million, fuck no. Me? Let me tell you something, man. I take my money seriously. It's serious business out here, man. Serious business. I'm on top of my money. Now, one thing about me, and this is what Kev says about me all the time, is I will walk away from some money if I'm not feeling what's going on. I've done that. I'll do it again. I'll be like, man, I'm not feeling this. I will walk away. Is that smart? Probably not. But it's just, but when I do sign up for something, when I do know, all right, let's do it, let's get it done, let's make this money, that's when I put on my I don't fuck around glasses. Pay me what you said. Pay me what you owe. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on top of it. Because, there have been some comedy clubs where, when we settle up at the end of the weekend, I'll be catching, fumbles. I'll be like, hey, this total ain't right. So I've had that happen. Like, I've had fumbles happen quite a few times. Usually my agency catches it. I've been catching it lately. I've been like, yo, hell no, this is short. Right there at the venue still. So, you gotta stay on top of it, man. You gotta make the money moves, man. So, but also too, like, I don't let money run me. I don't let money take over my soul. I don't let it be the end all be all, because I know that money is not everything. And I know a lot of people, there's the back and forth between people that be like, that's easy to say when you have a little bit of money. Money is very important. Money can change your life. It can benefit your life. It can take a lot of stress off your life, but it's not everything. Like I will clean out my bank account to get my son back. I will clean it out and start over. 1,000% without even flinching. Clean out the bank account. Let's get some rain back up in here. Let's get that going. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out on the back end. I'll just do another show. Foreclose the house. I'll get another house. Give my son back. So in those situations, you realize money is not everything. Even like, those super rich people that die from an illness. Money wasn't everything. Steve Jobs just dying of cancer. He's a billionaire. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. As much money as he had, he's still, the health is going to health. So money is not everything. Rich people that commit suicide, take their own lives. They're rich. Millions and millions of dollars in the bank account. Huge house. Still dealing with depression, anxiety, pain that they can't shake. Money is not everything. And I knew that. I even knew that from the broke space. I knew that when I was eating cream corn sandwiches. I already knew, like, man, just hearing stories and like watching stuff that's going on, and like, money it's not a cure-all for everything. So just keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. And don't sell your soul for the almighty dollar. You got to be able to look at yourself in that mirror, man. You got to be able to like look at yourself and be like, all right, man. You got to do everything you can live with. So yeah. Let me scroll down here. Ernestine Dunbar, can you touch on why you can't post your voiceovers to Patreon and make those who want them have to join to access? The thing about putting voiceovers on Patreon, I just get nervous about monetizing videos that I don't have rights to. It just makes me nervous. So that's mainly the issue. It's like, yeah, I could do that and have y'all over here getting the fresh, exclusive voiceovers, but then I feel like, I'm getting money off these voiceovers now, so I get nervous. And then, if anybody sees that, he getting paid from the video, unlicensed videos, and then somebody could come for me. So it's like, I don't want to take that risk. It's looking down the road. It's about that looking down the road for me. And sometimes I could be too paranoid, but I'm still like, what if they come up in here and find it? So I never got, because I wanted to do that, and I was saying, I'm gonna put the voiceovers on Patreon. Then I got cold feet, and I was just like, I don't know, man. They might come up in here and be like, since you charging people, you owe us money for the voiceover. So I'm out here shook. So, that was the main thing why I got cold feet. You know what I mean? So I feel like it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? So there's that. E. Ferg asks, we know you love cats, but if you had to have a dog, what kind of dog would you get? What breed is most like you? I would probably get a pit bull or a Cane Corso. Probably one of those. I want a big, dark colored pit or Cane Corso. Just like a chill one that's real chill. One of my favorite dogs that I had a relationship with was my boys Andre and Jamal had a dog named Dean, and he was a pit bull, and he was like one of my favorite dogs of all time, man. Like, I rock with Dean heavy. I was always at their house on their computer, on their couch or whatever, and Dean would sleep with me on the couch. His big butt would just get up in there and be like hogging the covers, like, he would just get up on that couch. So I would wake up trying to get cover, trying to get some real estate on that blanket, and Dean taking up the whole cover, man. He done took it while I was asleep. And I remember one time I took him for a walk, and he just couldn't hang, man. He was tired. I was like, man, y'all don't be walking Dean, man. He couldn't hang with my pace. But I tried to walk with him, man. But yeah, Dean was my guy, man. So those would be like the breeds that I would rock with. I would love like a black one or like a super darker color to kind of match with Dapper and Midnight, essentially. Like if I can get a black Cane Corso, like Angel and Marcus dog, beautiful dog, just big. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the move for me on the dog front, if I had to get one. If I had to do that. Dana asks, can you share about your 75 hard journey? What books did you read, and did you enjoy them? Was it difficult to maintain it all while being on tour? Did you notice any benefits or changes with doing it? Now, I cut corners on the 75 hard. I did audiobooks. They said you're supposed to read the book. I was like, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read. So I did audiobooks. So, I had to edit on that front. Cause I was like, yo, man, I'm not about to be out here page turning. Cause I'm gonna fall asleep. You gotta know yourself. You got to know yourself. And I was like, yo, man, I'm gonna be in here knocked out. So there were 4 books that I read on this journey. It was Who Better Than You by Will Packer. Okay. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, Up From Nothing by John Hope Bryant, and Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Those are the 4 books that I had going during the 75 hard journey. I finished The War of Art and I finished the Will Packer joint. Oh, and apparently I finished the John Hope Bryant book too. Oh, damn. So I was still on Can't Hurt Me by the time I was done. So, and David Goggins, he went through a lot in his life, man. And his mom and stuff like that. I was like, woo, damn. So I did all that. And the other rules in the 75 hard were, so I ruled out. So I had to work out twice every day. One had to be outside. So that outside part was my walk. So I was walking fast, running a little bit of it. So I would do that and then work out in the gym. So there was that. I had to take a progress pic every morning or every day. Every day, it didn't have to be morning. I had to drink a gallon of water. No, so I was doing no sweets. I don't even know if I was doing breads. I forget what else I ruled out. So for me, I didn't really notice much of a change. Like, yeah, I was looking at myself and I was just like, did I feel, maybe I felt a little different, maybe a little bit more structured, but visually, I didn't notice a change, but some people that know me noticed some change, like my face. I looked a little bit leaner. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really see it like that, but I felt good doing it. Like I would do it again. Like with the app, I was using the app and they said, get ready for phase 1. So there's another phase I could do, a 5-minute cold shower. So with the 75 hard app, they said 75 hard complete, get ready for phase 1. In completing the 75 hard program, you have forged the traits you'll need to not only help you succeed in life, but to begin the next phase. It's 30 days and will push you to the next level. You got this. What's in phase 1? Phase 1 is 30 days and adds new opportunities for you to improve your productivity, focus on your long-term goals, and get comfortable being uncomfortable. In addition to everything you've already mastered in 75 hard, you'll be doing the following every day: 5-minute cold shower, 3 critical power list tasks in addition to the standard 5, 10 minutes dedicated to visualization. So that's essentially phase 1. Let me learn more about phase 1. Hold on. Mental toughness. I might try phase 1 eventually. Right now, I'm chilling. But maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it in like, maybe I'll start it like late August and go until kind of September for that 30 days, right before I start the Ball Brothers tour. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, so I could try that as well. And I learned about soul ties recently, and like getting rid of soul ties to people and being intentional and breaking those ties so you can start new and stuff like that. And I learned about that recently, so I did that, and I was just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Just manifesting that kind of stuff. And I feel a little bit lighter, after I did something like that. So yeah, just learning and living. You know what I mean? A cold shower sound crazy though, man. I can't stand being under cold water, man. It takes me forever to get in the ocean or like a cold pool. A cold pool take me about a good 45 minutes to get up in there in full. But sometimes I just be like, man, the hell with it. And then boom, pow. But I don't know. So yeah, so that was a 75 hard journey for your boy. What else we got up in here? G, 'tis the name, asks, what are your thoughts on Ari Lennox saying the jokes told in Martin was routed in colorism, and the jokes she meant in particular were targeted at Pam? I'm asking because I have been hearing most comedians say comedy is slowly dying because of takes like this. Do you agree? We were having a conversation about this on the road, and you can't diminish how certain things make people feel when. And I know Ari Lennox stated that she loved Martin. She thought it was funny, just like the rest of us. But on the underneath, and I don't necessarily feel like Martin was probably even aware of it or anything like that. But there might be some truth on it. I mean, considering the type of jokes, like I would have to go back and really like take in the jokes and see like what types of jokes were directed at Pam. But there is a long history of, and not really a long history, but like there's a history of like, comedy, the darker skinned woman going at the main comedian, the main lead. You think about Aunt Esther and Fred Sanford. They used to go at it tough, and Esther was a darker skinned woman, and they would just go at it, calling her a barracuda and like, stuff like that. Always calling her an animal of some sort. And you got that dynamic with Pam and Martin, even though, everybody's getting jokes. Cole is getting joked on his lack of intelligence. Tommy doesn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? Gina's got a big head. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting the jokes. But the main crux of Pam and Martin is always, in the physical. And she jokes about his ears, his height, whatever. So the jokes were flying. But that dynamic usually exists in like maybe like a darker skinned woman. And so it's tricky though. It because we just look at life differently now. Like, the stuff that we thought was funny, when you take a step back, you're like, oh man, that was kind of, what does that breed in your comedic sensibilities going forward with people? What do you joke on? What do you roast? Even though it's all in fun, it's funny, but then you think about what's on the underneath of all the jokes, and it's tricky. That's why I like to joke about people's behaviors more so than a person's physical appearance that they can't control. Like, I'd rather joke on how you always late, how you always doing this, or like, even the clothes that you wear, stuff that you can change, or stuff that's just surface level. There's always a safer play there. Even some people get offended by that, but just like behaviors more so than just straight up appearance and like physical appearance, whether it be your height, your size, your weight, your face, your structure, your skin tones. Because the light skin, dark skin stuff, black folks been joking about this for so long. It's just like, he acting real light skin. He acting real light skin, meaning that since you light skin, you soft. And it's like, damn, we just gotta find new jokes. Find different things to joke about as we progress comedically, and from a humanity standpoint, we got to find different ways to joke on each other, to rib each other, man. Because I always want it to be comedy first, in terms of like, let's not take everything so seriously. Let's have a little bit of fun, man. Let's laugh. But colorism is so tough, and like, because it's so deep rooted in just like unacceptance and like intolerance and judgment and holding people back and making people feel less than. And colorism within America, just being black, boom, your color is an ailment. It's a negative. Right off the rip, you feel like, oh, we less than because we this. So then even within our own community, it's like, yo, you dark skinned, you ain't You ain't hitting on nothing. You're not as appealing. When you see yourself on TV, it's like, where the dark skinned women at? So all of these things that we've had to fight through and fight for, and even further out, you know what I'm saying? In the Dominican community, they have colorism over there, and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's so deep rooted and long lasting, and it goes back, and it's just an eternal struggle. So when people do feel a certain way, it's just like, you got to kind of hear them out. You got to kind of hear people out, because it might be something too. Even if you think it's just jokes, they could be rooted in something you're not even aware of why you make those jokes. So I just be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get offended in terms of like, man, we can't joke about nothing. Like, that's not my knee-jerk reaction to something like this. Like, I heard what Ari said, and I was like, she felt how she felt. And I was just like, huh. I just thought about it more so than just a knee-jerk reaction of, no, man, because everybody was getting joked. I didn't have that reaction. I was just like, So now I would have to go back to Martin episodes and see, you know, what type of jokes was being fired off. But from my memory, I know it was all kind of big ears, short, horse, you know what I'm saying? Gina got a big head, bubble butt, you know, all this kind of stuff. You ain't got no job, you're dumb. But I would have to go back and re-up on Martin. Because I know, like, the jokes in The Fresh Prince, the main jokes are, you know, Carlton is a preppy rich kid that don't know nothing about the streets ever. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Will is from the streets. He's from the big city, man. He don't know nothing about high class. You know what I'm saying? Tuck your shirt in. It's more about classism, socially elite jokes. You know, I'm not sure if The Fresh Prince, I don't know if they touched on colorism with their sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? Hillary was ditzy. You know what I mean? So you got that whole dynamic there. And then I feel like the Cosby Show didn't really go there in terms of colorism on that show. I can't remember. Like, I don't remember every episode, but none of those types of conversations really spring up. I know it was conversations about the male and female role within the house, and Claire Huxtable had to check Elvin or whatever, when he was like, I didn't even think you served a man, and she had to set him straight. So, you know, it's just different dynamics with different shows. And I don't want to say that they switched up. I don't want to say that they got rid of Aunt Viv just because she was dark. I don't think that was the case. And I don't think that, you know, they brought in another Aunt Viv just because she was light. Like, I don't know if it was as simple as that, because, you know, Aunt Viv, the original Aunt Viv was killing. She was dope on that show. So I don't really know what the dynamic was between Will and, you know, Janet. I don't know if it was rooted in skin tone, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But there was definitely a skin tone shift when they brought in the new Aunt Viv. And the new Aunt Viv can't help what she looked like. You know what I'm saying? Some black folks just be light skinned. So, yeah, it's just interesting, man. So I just took it like that. Like, I feel like it's just more ways to joke, man. It's just more ways to joke. And if you're a real comedian, you're gonna find the humor and how to deliver it. And so, I'm just joking on. I'd rather roast on how you moving out here. I'll roast your clothes, because you can change your shoes, you can do whatever. What kind of shoes you got on, man? We can have fun with that. But I try not to go too far in on people's physical appearance. Because even me growing up, you know, I used to get roasted for my weight. Like, you know, I was a fat kid. So, and even though I could fire back verbally, you know what I'm saying, the stuff still hurt, and it affected me. Like, it made me very conscious of my body. To this day, I still deal with the effects of that. And so, you know, they can play a role in like how you see yourself, and, you know, it echoes through the years in terms of how you feel about yourself, whether it be, you know, your skin tone or whatever. But it just sucks that we always have to have this battle and this judgment and this, these insecurities that we can get from our family, you get from your classmates, and it just sucks, man. But me personally, man, I love variety in skin tone. I love variety. You could be the blackest, blacker than blackest, and you could be as white as the, you know what I'm saying, white as a pair of tighty whities fresh out the goddamn washing machine with the Clorox bleach. These are the facts that people look like these tones all throughout the world, and everybody looking different. They pale over here, they super black over here, and this is what makes up humanity. And so it's like when I look at a field of vegetation and flowers and stuff like that, the flowers are looking different. They come in all different shades and colors, and the garden looks beautiful because it's a mixture of all these different visual flavors. And I feel like that's what life is. This is where we are. Yes, I believe that the first humans were darker skinned. We were, black when we came out the gate. Science has proven this. But over time, the colors vary, and colors can vary out of the black makeup. Black DNA can create different color tones. So we just got to be more accepting of all the tones, right? And stuff we can control. We still got to dismantle racism on a global scale. But in terms of how people exist, how you're born, you can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Your tone is your tone. Yeah, you can get a little tan when you stand outside, or you could just go completely just bleach your skin. But naturally, your tone is your tone. And so that shouldn't be the end all be all of your existence. So yeah, anyway, sorry if I rambled on a little too long on that. Yeah, feel me? But y'all asked, so I answered. You know what I'm talking about, you feel me? Hold on, man. Vegan lady has a nosy dating question. But as an actor, how do you approach and have a view on knowing there is a possibility that you play a role with romantic scenes such as kissing or more? Would you expect your partner to be understanding of that? Would or have you dated actresses, and how do you feel about them participating in romantic roles? Of course, acting bears more broad topics than those, but a good partner would never want you to inhibit or hold back their partner from opportunities. I'm an actor, so I know that comes with the territory. I've never like fully been in a real relationship with an actress. But I know that's part of the territory. I know it comes with it. So I would low key expect it. And since I'm an actor as well, you know what I'm saying? I would like to not miss out on opportunities because I can't kiss somebody on screen. I always think about the awkward nature of intimate scenes. I always be thinking like, yo, could I pull that off? Could I do it? Would I be comfortable? All these different questions have always just, come to mind. Because I did like a sex scene in the web series, and I didn't have to kiss anybody, so that was a relief. I ain't had to like passionately kiss somebody within that web series. It was just like fake smash. So I was able to do that. But before I had to do it, I was nervous. I was trying to get out of that. I was like, yo, man, can we rewrite it? Can we do something? I don't want to do this. I tried to get out of it. But she was like, no. I was like, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of scenes give me anxiety. But that's just me. Like, I don't like kissing in front of people. That's outside of acting. That's just me as a human. Like, and so I just get in my head about it. But the act of it, in terms of me not getting uncomfortable seeing my partner do it or stuff like that, I think I can handle it. You know what I mean? Because I did kind of talk to somebody that is in the entertainment field and has done like, sexy scenes and stuff like that. And it was just like, all right. You know what I mean? So I know I can handle it. And the thing about me is that In the dating space, I'm giving you everything up front. I'm telling you what it is about my life, what I do, how I move, what you may be exposed to, what you're getting into. I try not to be springing new stuff on you. This is what it is. And so, and I would have that same respect if I was interested in an actress. I would have that same respect on the other end. This is what she does. So I'm not going to come in here and be like, yo, man, I don't want you kissing him in this scene. You know what I'm saying? Like she's already been doing this. She's already been about this life. This is her bread and butter. And so I'm not going to come in. If I can't handle that, then I just got to back up. But it would be hypocritical of me if I can do it, but she can't. So it's like, I don't like hovering in hypocritical spaces like that. So I would just be like, I do it. So I get it. So it's as simple as that for me. So yeah, I could date an actress on that tip. And now would I want to see the scenes? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't want to see the scenes. Maybe I would just be like, yo, man, look like y'all was really getting after it. Maybe I would be there when they do the scenes. I don't know. Like, oh, y'all doing a sex scene today? I might pull up. But if she's like, I'd be uncomfortable if you there. I'm like, all right. Or if she's just like, yo, can you be there when I do this scene? I'm like, yeah, whatever you need, if I can handle it. And I'll have to see how I feel in that moment. Because I haven't been in those situations before. But outside looking in, I feel like I could. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's work. I know I've been in the situation where I had to kiss somebody at an audition. There was no extra feeling or attachment. It was just like, mwah, and then cut. It was very businesslike. It was very transactional. And nothing drives me up more than transactional affection. Transactional affection does nothing for me. I'm just like, oh yeah, that was business. That was straight business. And then I'm just like, yeah, ugh. And then boom, pow, done. So good question though, vegan lady. Good question. Anyway, I gotta get the hell up out of here. It's 57 minutes in. We're 57 minutes in, y'all. I got stuff to do. I'm about to go knock out a review of Happy Gilmore 2. It's on Netflix right now. I'm gonna just do a little review of that. And I want to thank y'all for pulling back up to Verbal Cardio. Thank you to everybody that came out for the tour. I appreciate y'all. And I'll keep y'all updated on when the movie nights will return. I'm kind of just chilling out for a little bit after the tour. I'm gonna visit family like next week. So, I'm just a little decompressed before the next tour begins. And yeah, y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another session of that Verbal Cardio.